Hello, it's Lisa. I plan to make some yogurt. I've got some brown rice soaking that I'm going to make some rice milk from. And I decided I'm going to take advantage of the gelatinous properties of flax seed to make my yogurt thicker. So I just have some filtered water right here, and I'm going to just cover the flax seeds. I don't want a whole lot of water in here. I want to maximize the gel. These are they're gonna add some nutrition to my yogurt, but really I'm just using them to be my thickener, really. I made some hemp seed yogurt yesterday in my Instant Pot. I don't quite have the method perfected yet, but I'll share that with you when I figure it out. This may not actually work the best either, but we're gonna try. It's about experimentation, getting some fermentation, and also making good use of my new toy, my Instant Pot. I found it half price at Walmart. There was a dent in the outer casing, and who cares? It has no effect on cooking. Alright, so it looks like I have the 2/3 of cup of water that I put in there to about, well, this is a pint jar that I filled, almost filled. So I'm gonna let that soak up. It's barely moistened, so that's gonna make a really good thick gel, I think. Okay, so that's phase one. We're gonna let that hang out while I'm letting my rice soak. Okie doke, it's time to make the milk. I've got my 1 cup of soaked brown rice in there. And now here comes my, ooh, look at all that solid flax goodness. And I'm gonna put that inside my Vitamix too. It's all nice and goopy. Yeah. You know, pouring flax into a Vitamix just isn't a pretty thing. But I want you to get an idea of how burgeoning my seed, I don't know, look how much is in there. Okay, that's going to give us a bunch of thickness. A lot of this is getting strained out, but again, my interest is mostly in making a nice thick yogurt. Okay, I'm going to add water to this. I believe I'm going to use 3 cups of filtered water, and then I'm going to blend it up. And I'll show you what happens next. I just wanted you to see how full this is. It is completely filled with flaxseed. Alright, and it's really gooey too, which is really great. So that's going to do some good. It almost looks like the beginnings of a nice Cajun beans and rice or something, right? Alright, I wanted you to see that. Sorry, I forgot I was filming. There it is. Uh-oh. Well, as it turns out, that's way too much flax for a blender to handle. I ended up having to take that batch apart and make it into 2, which is good, but I got a bunch, so this is about 6 cups, so that's really cool. A mistake isn't that terrible. But look at the viscosity of my milk. This is just flax and rice milk. I added a little bit of vanilla, and I also added a couple of tablespoons of raw sugar to this. I wanted a little bit of sweetness because I think that it might help the culture happen a little bit easier. I'm going to try to make my Instant Pot that has no yogurt button on it. I'm going to turn this into an incubator. So I'm going to put my plant milk in my jars, and I'm going to show you what happens next. Alright, so I've got my beautiful flax and rice milk in my jars. This is Kite Hill almond yogurt, and this is my live active culture. And this is a plain unsweetened yogurt. So this is where I'm starting with it. So this is my culture, like I said. So we need a culture to get the show rolling. And then I'm going to stir that in. Make sure it's really well incorporated. Everything is room temperature at this point. Next thing is I'm going to turn my Instant Pot on to saute. And then I'm going to bring the temperature of this milk up to 110 degrees. And then I'm going to wrap I'll close up the Instant Pot and I'll wrap it in a towel and I'm going to stick it in the oven. Not lit. The oven will not be on. All right, let's see what happens next. Okay, so our Instant Pot is turned on, and inside here is my plant milk, and I've got my thermometer inside of one of them, and that's how I'm gonna keep track of the temp of them. Okay, and like I said, because I do not have a yogurt setting on this, it's a Luxe model, saute is the button I'm going to push. And I'm gonna just let that go, and I'm going to check on my thermometer. So when that starts, moving, and when it gets to 110, I'm going to unplug the machine, put the lid on, boom, and then I'm gonna put it inside of my oven. So stay tuned. And it's the moment of truth. I just took my yogurt out of the Instant Pot, and it's pretty exciting. It's got activity, but it's not unhealthy activity. So I'm stirring it up, and it's thick, like yogurt. It's got some kind of lumps and bumps, but I think it's pretty good. I'm actually really excited about it. I think it looks great. I have one of the jars that I put into strain. Yum. It's really good. It's got a really mild tanginess to it. It's not like harsh and bitter. It's just right. It's just really nice. All right, and here I wanted to show you what this looks like as it's in the strainer. It's kind of, this one looks a little bit gnarly actually. I think that maybe it got a little bit warm. So what I did with the Instant Pot is I let it heat up. I had, like you saw, the thermometer was in one of the jars. I let it go just a little bit long, and the temperature might have come up a little too high. It was just barely 120. Anyway, so that might have made it cook a little bit. I don't know. It is only in this jar so far. So from a batch that I thought I was going to get maybe a quart, or not a quart, maybe a pint from, I think I'm going to get 3 full pints because of using flax in such a way. It's really not draining at all. There's no way. There's a little way. There's always a way. Anyway. I'm gonna let it drain for a while and see how it does after it runs through this this coffee filter stuff. This is just a sieve and a coffee filter, or 5 in there, and I'm just gonna let that run through there for a while and see. It'd probably take a real long time, so I'm just gonna let that work, and later on I'll squidge off the filter so I'll get more of the yogurt, and then you know, I won't have too much waste with that. All right, I'm really excited about it. This seems to be a really good success so far. So we'll see what happens. I'll show you what happens after I strain this out. Well, here we have my finished product. This is a bowl of my flax and rice yogurt, topped with some muesli I made with pecans, pumpkin seeds, oats, chia, flax. Yum. Very delicious. I highly recommend that you try this. If you don't have an Instant Pot that you can force to do your bidding, why not try it in a crock pot? I believe the key is to keep your incubation temperature fairly even. I processed this or let it incubate for 24 hours. It just seemed like a good idea. The hemp recipe, I did less. It wasn't as good. Try it.